Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. Just got out of the latest mystery movie. Been seeing a lot of them lately, and this one I was curious to see mainly by just curious just because I pretty much had an idea of what it was going to be, and um, just for $5, sure, why not? And I am fairly satisfied. Um, that film is Sing Sing, the latest from A24. Forgive me, I don't know the director's name. I believe Greg Kidner, I think that's his name. Forgive me, I forgot his name. But this stars Coleman Domingo, who we've discussed before on this channel. Recently did a film called Rustin, which I wasn't too crazy about, but I remember, I think, and liking him. And of course, most notably for Euphoria, famous notable TV series, or at least popular TV series, not famous TV series. Um, so Coleman Domingo, he plays G, as they call him in the prison, and this takes place in a prison. The film being titled based on the facility Sing Sing. Sing Sing, an actual facility, a maximum state prisons facility. And Coleman Domingo and a couple of other people occupy a theater program that Coleman Domingo also happens to be a founder of. And in this program, this theater program, they all work on themselves and they all work to express their emotions and learn to be comfortable and learn to not be so sheltered. And within that, having a chance to escape reality, the harsh realities of living within prison, and also the demons that lurk within each other's minds, and lifting them out of such feelings. And generally, that is the film's conceit, its thesis about escape in the external and the internal, and using acting as that navigation through the external and the eternal. And what you get from it is mainly to do with very impressive and very just immersive ensemble performances, especially Coleman Domingo, who I think is just absolutely terrific in this. I think he is really, really remarkable in it. And everybody else in it, I think, is also very good. And it was interesting to know that some of the people in the film are actually, they're just being themselves. And I don't know if that has to do with, I don't know if it's a nomad land situation where it is, that they are using actual people in the state prison to participate in this. I'm not sure if that's the case, and giving the film some layer of authenticity. But whatever the case may be, though, they all, I thought, really, really, really brought it. Each, I thought, brought really, really great performances. But most notably, Coleman Domingo, I thought he was very, very good. There's a tenderness there. There's a charm to it. But the issue that I take with the film is that the thesis that it holds, or that the approach to its thesis about representing the idea of the concept of escape through the external and the internal, what you get as a film, for the largely of its time, is a film that operates in the external and not a lot of its time on the internal, because it's vague in terms of the eternal. And it reminds me in many respects to the film that I would compare it to. I mean, obviously, Shawshank Redemption is a big influence on the film, and it's not just because of them being in a prison, not just the setting. It quite literally, the ending echoes that of Shawshank Redemption. It's like the film's basically just being so blatant up front at that point, stating, look, we're not going to hide it. Of course, we're being influenced by Shawshank Redemption. And the other film that it reminded me of is the film from this year, Ghostlight, which I discussed on this channel a few weeks ago, which I really, really adored. I thought was very, very good. It's the same concept about acting that I addressed in that review, which is that acting is about putting on a mask. It's the whole point of the poster thing about theater. That specific image that I'll put right here. It's about escaping, but it's not about actually touching about your emotional state. It's manipulating those emotions. And I think that, again, what it does in this instance, I think it it keeps the developments quite shielded. What's happening on the inside of these characters is very vague. I mean, there's an idea at play, absolutely. You understand to some extent what these characters are going through, and the prison, kind of like the environment kind of shapes what is happening on the inside of these characters quite, in that respect. It's like it does give these characters some level of substance, you know, because it's the environment that informs us of the characters. But the problem with that is that it doesn't supply a lot of development. It gives us a kind of statements, a general statement, to occupy this ensemble, but not much individuality outside of, well, personality types, and it's just, I wish that there was more of an underbelly with those characters. I wish that, like, something with, like in comparison to Ghostlight, what I love about Ghostlight is that how it actually gets much more under the surface. With those characters, that trio, I felt so much more because I understand them so much more. It's not just about the concept and about how that informs and works for those characters. It's about the characters themselves and why they gravitate towards the concept that the film is exploring. With this, it more or less is about said concept. It is about the medium, the healing factor of the theatrical, experience, or operating in that space, and about, the quite literal concept of escape. But it doesn't really touch on the eternal part. There is, again, a vagueness to that, as I said, throughout the film. And I wish that it hit more on that front, because the other elements in this are just really, really shining and really remarkable. Like I said, the performances are really, really terrific. I think that all of them do a really, really great job. But what I'm paying attention to, or what my focus on is for a large majority of the time, is strictly just the performances, the work that is being done there. It's really, really good. But I can't sit there and say that I'm really involved with the characters. I'm involved with the performances. I'm not really involved with the characters, because, as I said, what the film takes a pleasure in more so than anything is kind of, in some respect, displaying that of the theater itself. When you go to watch a theater play, majority of your focus is to do with the performances, and less to do with what is on the inside. At least if you're just a general audience member. I'm just speaking from my own, my own stuff. But I don't know. It kind of takes it revels in the spirit of those performances, but it's just not in those performances, or I guess in the craftsmanship itself. It's just not supplying characteristics or rudimentary developments. There's suggestions throughout about Colman Domingo's character, about what might have happened to him, and being, maybe being wrongfully, accused of things, and then, second degree murder. There are things about his character that are, kind of vaguely addressed, and I get what's being approached in that. What is not being spoken, may provoke a powerful response, but it just doesn't really do that for me. I think that more of a direct, addressing of these characters, I feel would have really enriched it more. But as it stands, I think that there is solid. There is the word for it is solid, because what you get in terms of craftsmanship is something very tender, very charming, at points moving, and what is the leading force of the film, and what ultimately keeps you very engaged, is this ensemble and the display of these performances. They're really, really good. Each of them are really, really good, especially Colman Domingo. I was really, really impressed with him, and just by technique, by his literal acting, what he does. Just going from being this pacific guy to then having his moments of just like break, when he breaks, it's all about how it is literally performed. It's not about that character. It's about how he is performing. And I just wish that I was more interested. I wish I got more of a sense, or felt more of an attachment to the underbelly, to the development, getting more informed of that. And I just feel as though that it was more scratching on the surface, and, and less so of actually allowing us into that other level. So, but what you get from it is good. I still enjoyed it. I would say though that it is like comparing it to something like Ghostlight, and I don't think that it's a far comparison. I mean, if you've seen Ghostlight, I think you can understand where I'm coming from, where the films very much share a symbiotic link in that they use acting as a healing factor, or for representing it in that medium. I feel as though that Ghostlight understands to go outside of that and address the characters first and foremost and make that priority. Whereas this, it kind of just revels more or less in its own concept, and thankfully has really great performances to keep you engaged. But I just wish that those performances also had great characters for me to follow. And I just feel as though that they're just not really there. But I still enjoyed it. I still think that the performances in it just, I think, really, really keep you engaged. And I think that the atmosphere that is built is tender and melancholy. Like there's a nice little, there's a rich atmosphere there. But I just wish the characters themselves match those qualities that I'm mentioning, those performances and all these other factors. I just wish those characteristics or developments match that. Because then I would be sitting here and saying that this is really, really great. But as far as what is there and what I saw, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. But it had the potential to be something really, really terrific. But it just didn't get there for me. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Sing Sing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought that the performances were great, and I think that it really is what elevates the film. Because if those performances just didn't really work for me, I feel as though that I really wouldn't be moved by it or have much to say on it. But because of those performances and because of the craftsmanship at play, how this atmosphere is built, like I said, the influence of Shawshank Redemption, it being kind of a guiding force in the film, it helps to supply to create a foundation, a tender and charming foundation. I just wish that there were developments that would, match in my overall feelings of those other elements that I had mentioned. But still, good film, but I just don't think it's that great. So, but you guys know your thoughts on Sing Sing if you guys have seen it. I don't know when it is hitting theaters. I've heard it had a limited release, or it is having currently a limited release, but you guys let me know your thoughts on Sing Sing if you guys check it out in the comment section below. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video.